Hey everyone, and welcome back. So finally, after how long has it been? Years and years, we are finally getting Fright Night Part 2 coming 4K. I would bet money it's going to be 4K and Blu-ray. I'm going to get into that in just a moment. I want to cover this other stuff real quick. There's not too much to say. I'm not going to go over details because I do want to get to the other thing. Not that there's too much to say about that, but I want to share my excitement. So just real quick, announcements for two titles coming from Kino. No dates yet, just says coming soon, but there's going to be a 4K release of the comedy Kingpin, which will be great, as well as a 4K release of Wayne's World 2. And of course, we've already gotten the first Wayne's World in 4K from Paramount. So when we get more details on both of those, I will definitely cover them. And we also got May announcements from Shout Studios and Scream Factory. Although Scream Factory, I have to assume there probably will be another announcement coming. Most likely as I'm recording this video or something. But anyway, hopefully it is anyway. So again, not going to go over details, but coming May 27th is a 4K release of Scent of a Woman. These are the Shout Studios one. The Al Pacino film. And then coming May 27th as well is a 4K release of Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. And actually one more from Shout Factory, but I'm actually, or Shout Studios. I'm going to come back to that one just because it is the one I'm actually most excited for. But from Scream Factory, so far, coming May 6th is a 4K release of the movie What Lies Beneath, the film with Harrison Ford, Michelle Pfeiffer, directed by Robert Zemeckis. And each of these do retail for $39.98. And then the one big one, so that was the one Scream Factory one. Now, supposedly, I saw something, I don't know if it's official or something, maybe we'll still get it, I don't know, but they might be doing a 4K release of Fade to Black, which, again, I don't know if that was real or a fan made up. I hope it's real. We did get a Blu-ray release of Fade to Black several years ago, actually now, from Vinegar Syndrome. Kind of surprised they're not doing it, but obviously, licensing and all that. But anyway, so if that does get announced at some point, or maybe that's one that it's planned for maybe a couple months out, I will definitely let you know. And then finally, the big one, which getting back to Shout Studios, is the Blaxploitation Classics Volume 1, which is a 4K and Blu-ray box set, retailing for $169.98, set for May 20th. So just a couple things real quick. I actually am a huge Blaxploitation film fan. So, I mean, this box set has a ton of ones I'm very excited about. But also what I love about this box set is that each film has its own case. So you have just the outer box, but each film has its own case, like they've done with some of their other box sets, which I love. I hate... I don't want to deal with sleeves or anything like that. And I also love that each cover has the original artwork, original poster artwork, which I love. So real quick, the films are, and again, it's a 4K and Blu-ray set for each film. First up, Across 110th Street from 1972. Next two, specifically the two I'm actually most excited about. The first one is Black Caesar from 1973, and the other one is the sequel, Hell Up in Harlem, from 1973, starring Fred Williamson in both. Directed by Larry Cohen. Love these two films, and luckily, I believe both of them carries over the commentary. Yes, it does. Carry over the commentary track that he did for... it might even been for a DVD release. Actually, going back, but it's a fantastic... commentary track for each one, specifically on Black Caesar, where you find, oh man, the amount of stuff they did on that film without permits, in New York City. Oof. All right, let me wrap this up. So next up is the Pam Grier classic Coffee from 1973 as well. Two left. Next up, Sheba Baby, also starring Pam Grier from 1975. And then finally, the Duke of New York, #1, Isaac Hayes, the movie, starring in the movie Truck Turner from 1974. I am a big, I love these films, and I'm so happy this is actually coming out, and actually in 4K too. If it was a Blu-ray set, I've been like, oh cool, that's great. I'm definitely gonna get it. 4K, I'm like, oh yes. And that is it for the Scream and Shout Studios films, which again, I'm we have to be getting more Scream Factory announcements throughout the month for, ones coming out in May. I'd be shocked if What Lies Beneath is the only one. And of course, now we get to the big news, which most of you probably already know, but I have to cover it as well because I really want to. And that is indeed the announcement coming from Michael Felcher's Red Shirt Pictures being distributed by Synapse Films, just like they did with the 4K of Trick or Treat from last year. They announced more movies, with the big one being Fright Night Part II, which we are finally getting, and as well as a couple other ones, including Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2, as well as the sequel Prom Night 3, The Last Kiss, Prom Night 4, Deliver Us from Evil, plus 976 Evil 2, The Astral Factor, Angel of Heat, Marilyn Chambers. But I believe that, I don't think it's a adult film. I think it's an R-rated film, but anyway. And needless to say, this announcement was massive on many levels. Now, the only thing, obviously, we don't have specifics yet. We don't have details or even dates or anything like that. But they did specifically say that Fright Night Part 2 is not coming out this year. It is coming out in 2026. But mainly because they still have to do all the work for it, do the scan, do the restoration, and all that stuff. So I obviously want them to do it right, and if it means it's coming out next year, then it's coming out next year, but at least it's coming. As far as the other films go, again, they haven't announced anything as far as specifics go. They actually haven't even said, I don't believe, which ones will specifically even be 4K. And Blu-ray only. I mean, I'd be shocked if Fright Night Part 2 was not 4K. I bet money it is. Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2, I think that probably will be 4K. And then the other films will probably be Blu-ray only. That would be my guess. So big shout out to Michael Felcher for actually making this happen. It got to the point where I'm like, is Fright Night Part 2 ever even going to come out on anything, let alone 4K? And thank goodness it finally is. Now, I don't know how many of these already have started the process as far as scanning and, film elements and all that stuff goes. So, I mean, it's going to be a while, most likely, until we get any details on any of these. Obviously, when we find out, there will be more. The Fright Night Part 2, again, most likely won't really know anything else till next year. I'm hoping they drop some stuff along the line as far as, how the restoration is going and all that stuff. And Synapse Films was asked about a possible 4K release of the original Prom Night, which they do have the rights for. And they basically, they're considering a 4K release, but they do need to look into how the original film elements are holding up, because they would obviously have to do a brand new transfer and all that. I hope everything's okay. I would love a 4K release of the original Prom Night. So hopefully that can happen. All right, that's the news. And like I said, I still kind of like, oh my God, Fright Night Part 2. When I saw that post, I think was it last night? I was thinking late last night. I was just like, oh, what? Oh man, just really great news. Okay, so that's it for this video. I'm sorry, kind of skipping through everything, but there is other stuff I want to get to, not just news and stuff like that, but also things that I'm doing that I hope some of you may even be interested in, specifically put myself in a position where so I can be a lot more interactive with all of you, which I know sometimes I'm not great at, but I'm putting myself in a position where I can be, and I am going to let you know about that in a bit. So that's it for this video. Definitely let me know your thoughts on all of this, and as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.